Chris Carino and Tim Cabstraw with you here at Hospital for Special Surgery Training Center in Industry City in Brooklyn. This is the home of the Brooklyn Nets and spring, I say spring training like we're in baseball.
Nice.
It's the fall, and it is training camp that gets underway. And a lot of new faces, Tim, around this net team this year. Probably no one is more anticipated to come to Brooklyn and see him in Brooklyn than our guest here today on Training Camp Live on Facebook Live, and that's Jeremy Lin. Great to see you, Jeremy.
Great to see you guys as well.
Thank you so much for joining us. Give us a little bit of a sense, if you can, of what this first training camp with Kenny Atkinson and the new regime here and all the new faces, what's sort of been the focus, what's sort of been the vibe here in the first 3 days of training camp?
Energy. I would say energy. We have a lot of energetic staff members who are always motivating the players. Sometimes, they're definitely encouraging us, clapping and all that, and then sometimes they, try to challenge us or compete with us or whatever it is. So it's been and this is probably my most manageable training camp in terms of protecting your body and doing things the right way and building up into something. And most times, most teams, right out the gate, it might be, 3 straight 2 days or something. But for us, we've been going really, really hard. And then when we're supposed to rest, we really rest. And so it's been a really good balance. It's been a lot of fun.
Well, you talked about energy, and isn't that what really you and Coach Atkinson's relationship began with, right? His positive energy, his energy in working with you.
Yeah, I mean, to me, it's, I guess it can be summed up with the word passion. We want to be around people who are passionate about the game, and we want to come to work every day surrounded by those type of people, because when you do that, I feel like it's, well, one, you'll get further, and two, it's a lot of fun and you enjoy the process. So that's what we've been really focusing on, and just playing, competing, practicing with passion.
And your relationship with Coach Atkinson goes back to when he was an assistant with the Knicks, when you sort of, we know what happened there with the Knicks. You recently said that you had prayed that you'd get back to New York one day to play. Why was that important to you?
Just the fans, the way they had rallied around me, and, they I mean, I just can't even express just how ridiculous or large everything became, and it's because of the fans, really, the fans and the media. And so I always said, if I have a chance, I want to come back. I felt like there was some unfinished business. I left a lot earlier than I thought I was going to, and so I wanted to, if the opportunity was right, I was always open to coming back.
Well, you didn't directly go to the Knicks, so you had to spend some time in the D-League, and now the Nets have the Long Island Nets, a D-League franchise. What do you think that will bring to this organization?
I think it's really important because it's like a minor league team or whatever for baseball, and it's just you control more of the process. The more of the process that you can control, the better it is. So you want guys to come back from injury, or you want to take a look at some guys, or you want to see, okay, this guy graduated from college. What would he look like within our system? If you don't have your own D-League team, if you don't have that that control of a D-League team, and you're running a certain system that's the same as us, then it's a lot harder to figure all those things out.
When you were coming out of Harvard, did you have to make position adjustments? Did the D-League help you with that also?
Absolutely. I mean, it's huge for development. It's huge. So for me, that's what gave me the confidence to believe, I can play in the NBA, because when I played in the D-League, I was, I played well, and I was able to stand out a little bit, and that to me was like, all right, well, I think, I'm ready for the next level. And I was a shooting guard all college, and I transitioned to a point guard, and so there's a big adjustment there as well.
Well, your confidence level from the minute you jumped on the scene with the Knicks when you got that opportunity, obviously you had to be a confident person to perform the way you did there in that situation, and it was a magical run there for a while. But I was interested in going back to last year when you talk about confidence, because we did the games when you guys went to China in the preseason with Charlotte, and we did the games for NBA TV from the studio. And one of our themes and storylines was what a great fit you were for Charlotte and going down and playing for Steve Clifford, and what a great free agent signing that was. And it proved to be a really great fit for you. Coming off those years in Houston and then you went to LA, what did going to Charlotte last year and the way you got to be a key part of that team and go to the playoffs, what did that do for you and your outlook and your confidence level coming forward now and being a big free agent signee and coming to Brooklyn?
Everything, you know. I think for a while I lost that joy for the game. For a while it wasn't fun playing, and
prior to going to Charlotte.
Yeah. And so I was kind of, I was at my, the low point obviously was my rookie year and going to D-League, getting cut, those things. But, I had gone, experienced New York and everything, and I was getting down to another really low point. And that was, tough for me, especially my season in LA. And so going to Charlotte was a breath of fresh air. It reminded me, I learned so much from Cliff, just, listening to him talk every day and what he believes in, what he stands for, how much film he watched. And then we played the right way. We played the right way. We moved the ball. We played as a team, and it was just beautiful. And it brought back everything that I remembered basketball to be, and I just had so much fun with it.
Well, you look at this team now, the Brooklyn Nets, and you've had only a few days right now, but you've had worked out with guys for a while. What stands out to you with this team right now, personnel-wise? Who do you like? Who do you think you're going to be meshing very well with?
It's so early, and we haven't done as much of the playing, but just from initial impressions, I think Brook is very underrated. Somehow he's a 2010 guy every year. He's underrated. The guy can score in every which way, has soft hands, is the biggest human being ever, and he's just so talented.
Then you get next to him, you don't realize just how big he is.
He's going to make my life really easy because he can pick and pop, pick and roll. He can post up, back to the basket, face up, floaters, dunks, everything. And so he's going to make my life a lot easier. And then I think we have definitely some young guys who are going to come out and surprise some guys. Sean's going to have a good year, I think. Sean Kilpatrick, he's a hell of a ball player. And there's other guys as well I think are just going to be really good for us.
Well, we're of course doing this on Facebook Live, social media, so I've got the old tablet out here, some questions that were sent to us prior from the fans I'd like to get your comments on. Being familiar with New York already, what are some of the things or places about Brooklyn and the neighborhood that you've enjoyed so far?
Well, I guess the one thing that I've really enjoyed about Brooklyn versus, I lived in Manhattan before, so Brooklyn, I guess, is a little bit slower, so actually I can drive a little bit better.
Don't go too slow, though. You'll find out there. It's not that slow.
Yeah, that horn is a
lot of hand signals here too.
Yeah, exactly. So I know what you're talking about. But it's just chill, and I've got to explore a little bit, get some really good food, and man, the food is amazing.
Yeah. Well, and then we have another question. You mentioned chill. What are some of the things you like to do to relax and chill out?
I play a lot of video games. I play Dota 2 a lot with my brothers and my friends. So, but recently there hasn't been too much chilling. I've been in the gym, and then when I go home, I've just been doing a bunch of apartment stuff. So furniture, unboxing stuff, packages, getting everything I need to get moved in. But I like to cook a lot too.
No kid.
So the other day I cooked for the first time because I got all my pots and pans and everything in my sous vide.
What's your go-to dish? What's the I put you on the cooking show? They say, Jeremy, cook your signature dish right now. Do you have one?
Yeah, I would say if I had to choose one, I have this there's this jalapeno, green onion, and garlic balsamic glazed chicken.
Wow.
So I put all that together.
What are we doing?
I'll be over at Jeremy's house a little bit later.
Oven roasted chicken, and that's probably my favorite thing to make.
You know what that reminds me of? The other day I heard you interviewed, and you were talking about how the Nets, this Brooklyn Nets organization right now, what a great job they do, not just when you're at practice or at the facility, but really 24/7. Give us a feel for the difference, with the Nets in doing those kind of things.
I'm not sure how much I'm allowed to reveil about what they do.
But, they keep an eye on you. They
take care of us, and they're. It's, everything. You could just even start with just food, like nutrition and the quality of food. And the other day we had lobster. Like, who eats lobster? I've never seen, smelled, or heard lobster anything in the facility. But there was lobster, and that's just beginning. That's just the beginning of everything. You know, I'm not going to get into everything that they're doing for us, but I can only just say that they really, really care. By far the most for their athletes.
You know, we had Brooke on yesterday, and he was talking about, he reminisced about the time he met you for the first time in high school. Do you recall that meeting? He said it was like in a Denny's or somewhere, or a place at late night, about 10 o'clock at night.
Yeah. Okay. I do remember. We were sitting next to each other. Like our booths were next to each other or something. I had like my homies and he had his, and we were all just eating some. Yeah, it was like a Denny's or IHOP or something.
That's it.
Nice.
Typical high school, food type stuff.
So that was because we asked if there was a sort of a California kinship between the two of you.
There's definitely a California kinship, but more just like an IQ kinship because being from Harvard and Stanford, we try to impose our intellectual dominance over everybody else
We
by
said
sticking together.
You're going to have a debate at halftime with the two of you. Yeah.
No, we're on the same team. You can't pit us against each other. At first, I used to think, Harvard against Yale, Harvard against Stanford. Now I just realized, you know what? All these great institutions, we're going to stick together. We're going to stick together. We're going to fight all these other guys.
You reminded me, though, the other day, there was a great... Conan O'Brien was a Harvard guy, right?
His graduation speech.
His address to the commencement address,
where
he said, don't tell people that you're from Harvard, because every time you do something dumb, they're going to go, you went to Harvard?
And you went to Harvard.
Yeah, I mean, I know exactly, like, I'll throw something into the trash can, but I'll miss, and they'll be like, I thought you went to Harvard. I'm like, what the hell does that have to do with anything? It doesn't even make sense.
A lot of people checking in with us. There was another question we had pre-submitted about, through your NBA experience through the years, is there a player or someone that you played with that's influenced you a great deal?
Yeah, there's been a lot. I would say, I'll just try to run through this quick, but Landry, when I was in New York.
Landry Fields,
yeah. Because I think that was the first person where I was able to connect with him in terms of like being really, really close, and that helped me get through my journey. Jared Jeffries kind of taught me what it means to be a professional, because, he knew how to have fun, and then he knew how to be a professional, and he just had a great balance. And then, even last year, Kemba taught me really what it means to be the leader of a team, but to do it he was just so humble in his demeanor. And but when the game started, he was an absolute killer. And Marvin Williams, I put him and Jared Jeffries in the same category as the best teammates I've ever had.
Oh, that's terrific. A lot of people want us to say hello and that they love the chicken dish as well.
They don't even know. They don't really know what I'm talking about yet, though, because I customized some of this stuff. So
Don't give it away. Don't give it
I won't
away.
give away my secrets.
RJ went to Harvard as well. He wanted a little shout out. I just appreciate all the questions and the comments that are pouring in. A lot of people from China checking in, even though now it's about to be about 1 o'clock in the morning there, but people checking in. We saw that when you went over there for the preseason games,
it was unbelievable.
People just went crazy, and I'm sure there's a big population of Chinese Americans and people here in Brooklyn. Is that hard? I know there's a lot of attention. Does that get difficult for you? Have you embraced that?
Yeah, I think at this point I've really embraced it. Earlier in my career, I didn't really know what to do, and I was scared, jaded, or whatever you want to call it. But I think now I really appreciate it. I love it, and I want to be in the community. Not just, obviously I want to be a voice for the Asian Americans. I also just want to be in the community representing or helping a lot of the underprivileged people in Brooklyn as well. So that's something that I want to look forward to doing, and really doing things in philanthropy as well as in the Asian American community here.
When we saw it last year, again, we started doing those global games. We're able to watch you and the response, even when you're just getting off the bus and the crowd. That was really special, right?
Yeah,
in China,
there's only X amount of people that really get to experience something like that, and so I just always try to remind myself how fortunate I am, because it's ridiculous. The gifts I get are like nicer than the gifts that my family gives me sometimes. Just like the amount of detail and care and hours that they spent into something is just phenomenal.
That's beautiful.
Well, Jeremy Lin, we really appreciate you taking the time and joining us. It's great getting to know you a little bit, and we'll see you throughout the course of the season. But thank you for joining us here on Training Camp Live.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
That's Jeremy Lin, Chris Carino, Tim Capstraw. Great for you to tune in here. Thank you for all the comments and questions. We'll do more tomorrow from Training Camp Live here at Hospital for Special Surgery Training Center in Brooklyn.